I'm an e-commerce accountant, so I'm dealing with business banks every day. In this video, I'll walk through the top UK business bank accounts in 2025 with a focus on e-commerce businesses. I'll also share my optimal setup for saving fees, protecting your profits, and earning cash back on everyday expenses. So let's dive in with the UK's most popular business bank, and that's Starling. So Starling Bank is one of the most popular banks in the UK, and for good reason. So some of the key features that help in e-commerce is that there's no monthly fee. So it's completely free, and that's opposed to every other product in the market at the minute, because you've either got pay as you go or you've got a subscription fee. For Starling, there's just no fees whatsoever. And then it's a real bank. So it's a licensed bank with that deposit protection up to 85k. They've also got 24/7 support. So live chat, phone, email, and even into the late evenings. And we had a client who was trying to download his bank transactions to submit quite a late VAT return, and they didn't have any information. And what they did was contacted Starling at about 8 p.m. and they got through to a real person who solved the issue. So it's great customer support. And then it's also got accounting integrations, which syncs with Xero, QuickBooks, and other tools, which is now essential when you're getting a business bank. And it's easy to set up. So all you do is you sign up with your phone, verify in a few minutes, and then you're all ready to go. So the standout features are there's unlimited free UK transfers. It's got a great app which you can pay checks into or categorize expenses. They've also got a great feature called Spaces, and that's where you can actually create a pot where, say, you put taxes or VAT. So every time you get money from, say, Amazon UK, you can set aside around 10% in that pot just to make sure you can cover that tax bill. So there are some other considerations with Starling. You've got no branch network. You'll need to go to the post office if you ever deposit cash. And it's not ideal if you regularly need in-person banking services. So it's best for new e-commerce sellers or small businesses looking for a fast, free, easy to use digital bank account. So then you've got Tide, and Tide is a popular e-money account designed to be quick and simple for startups. Some of the key features that help in e-commerce is the fast sign up, so you can get an account number and sort code within minutes. You also got the basic free plan, and that means there's no monthly fees, but you do pay per transaction. And then you've got the accounting integration. So it works seamlessly with QuickBooks and Xero, which again is essential. You've also got multiple pricing tiers. So there are paid plans, which include a certain number of free transactions, and that might help if you're making quite a lot of transactions each month. So it's very straightforward to open for brand new businesses. It's scalable. You can just pay for the paid plan to reduce your transaction costs, and it's got great integration into accounting software. Problem is though, pay-as-you-go fees on the free tier can add up quickly, and they're 20p per transfer. And it's not a fully licensed bank. There's no government guarantee of your funds. So your funds aren't particularly safe in there in the event that Tide does go under. And then the customer support can feel a bit limited outside of, say, the in-app chat. So you can't ring them up and there's no personal service there. So this is best for very small businesses or maybe a part-time e-commerce business with low monthly transaction volumes. You'd also have to be comfortable with it not being a real bank and therefore an e-money bank, and comfortable with the risk that entails. Then we've got Monzo, and Monzo is known for its bright coral debit cards and user-friendly app, and their business accounts come in the form of Monzo Lite, which is free, and Monzo Pro, which is £9, each with their own kind of features. So the standout features are that you've got free domestic transfers and no foreign transaction fees. There are no monthly fees in Lite, which is great for essential banking. They're a fully licensed bank, so they're protected by the government bank scheme. They've got 24/7 in-app support, so you can get help via chat, and it's quick and friendly. And they've also got the pots feature, which, like Starling, you can put tax into a pot and then save a certain amount of your money so you can cover that tax bill. It's a pretty slick interface similar to Starling, and Monzo Pro integrates into accounting software, whereas Lite, you have to do it manually. And that is important. It's probably likely that if you do want to use Monzo, you're probably going to have to go for the Pro feature just to get the accounting software integration, which will make doing your taxes, understanding your profit loss really easy. So there's some considerations you need to know about. There's no physical bank branches. So if you want face-to-face banking, Monzo is not the one. And you'll probably need Pro if you want those advanced features with automatic tax pots and direct accounting software sync. So it's best for those who are app savvy e-commerce business owners who want modern, fully licensed bank with some options to upgrade for more features. And then there's Revolut Business. So Revolut initially became popular for its multi-currency travel card, and its business account extends that. The key features of the Revolut business account is that it has multi-currency balances. So you can hold, send, and receive money in over 30 currencies. And you've got tiered plans. So you've got the basic plan at £10 per month, and that does have limited transactions. And you've got the Grow plan at £30 per month if you need more transactions. And then you've got Scale beyond that, which is over £100. But the great thing about it is the FX rates are at the interbank rates, which means you'll save big money on currency conversions. You can also give your employees cards so they can actually spend money on the business using the Revolut business account. They've got excellent international commerce facilities, whether that's paying overseas suppliers or maybe receiving income from Amazon US. And it offers advanced budgeting and spending controls, and it connects into all the major accounting tools, which is essential for any business bank. So there's some considerations you might want to take account of. It's not a fully licensed UK bank, so there's no guarantee there from the government. Your basic plan has really low limits, so you're going to be paying 20p per transaction after that. And customer support is mostly via chat, which can be really quite slow if you've got an urgent issue. So who is it going to be best for? Ultimately, it's going to be e-commerce sellers who are dealing heavily with cross-border transactions, who want to minimize the exchange costs. And then you've got Wise Business, and Wise is another big name for cheap, borderless currency transfers. And again, it's an e-money account, so there's no bank guarantee. And some of the key features Wise has is that it has multi-currency accounts where you can hold, receive money in over 10 transactions. You use real exchange rates with low fees, so you're only paying 0.3, 0.4% for FX, which is far cheaper than PayPal, which is around 3%. You do have pay-as-you-go pricing, so there's no ongoing fees, but there is one small fee just to set up, which is 45 quid. And then you open the account, and then there's minimal transaction fees after that, other than currency conversions. You get local bank account details in each country, so overseas marketplaces can pay you like you're a local company. And then the standout features really is you can make some huge savings on the FX conversions for cross-border e-commerce transactions. It's super transparent, so the fee structure is very clear and there's no hidden surprises, and it's easy to link with your main bank account for quick top-ups. So there's some considerations you need to think of before going with Wise, and that it's not a fully licensed bank. So we don't recommend it being your main bank, more about spending money overseas and receiving that and then transferring that money into your main bank when you don't need it. And it has limited typical banking facilities. There's no overdrafts, no branch deposits or anything like that. And it's best used alongside a UK account. So it shouldn't be your main account, it should always be used alongside another account. So who is Wise going to be suited for? It's basically anyone who is going to be doing a lot of cross-border transactions. So people who maybe receive money from Amazon US in USD, or you're paying your supplier in foreign currency, and you'll really cut down on those conversion fees. And then you've got HSBC Kinetic, and they are a traditional bank, and they've built a new product, which is app first, and it's designed to compete with the other digital providers like Starling and Tide. The main features here is that you've got physical branches to deposit money in and resolve issues. And it's handy for e-commerce business owners who want a more fintech feel, but still want to trust a legacy bank. So there's some considerations here. It's quite limited in who it's available to. It's only available to sole traders or single director limited companies right now. And the £6.50 monthly fee after the first year is actually more expensive than something like Starling. So I think it's best for startups who want the comfort of a large established bank, but with that modern mobile experience and with potential lending facilities as well. Then you've got Barclays Business. This is a classic choice because it's got a huge branch network. It offers 12 months free for new businesses, and then they charge a monthly fee. The monthly fee is £8.50 after the intro period, but there's no fees on digital transactions and ATM withdrawals. So it's got a wide range of products. So you can get overdrafts, loan, and you can get foreign currency accounts. And really importantly, you get the branch support. So you can walk in there and resolve issues or deposit cash. And the main thing is that it's a well-known, reliable brand, which is not going anywhere. You can scale easily, so you can add more services later on, all in the same network. And then it's got a dedicated business support and co-working initiative called Eagle Labs, where people can go there, use the co-working space and actually talk to other business owners. But there are some considerations. So you're going to have to expect a slower setup process compared to some of the challenger banks. And there is a monthly fee after the first 12 months. And there are some cash handling fees and check processing fees as well. So it's going to be best for businesses who value branch access and a comprehensive suite of traditional banking services after their free introductory period. So now the next bank is another high street bank, and this is Lloyds, and this is similar to Barclays, where they're targeting businesses with turnover under 3 million. So the standout features of Lloyds is that it's actually cheaper than most other legacy banks, and you get that solid personal support, and also you can benefit from overdrafts and loans. They've also got clear, predictable pricing structure, which maybe puts them above things like Tide or Revolut. So there are some downside. There are still charges for cash or check deposits, and the app isn't as polished as Monzo or Starling, and then setting up an account can take longer than a challenger bank. So it's best for e-commerce sellers who want a traditional bank and the security that gives you, along with affordable monthly rates after the first year. And then you've got Natwest, and they've become competitive for small businesses over the last few years, and they've got a particularly long free banking period. So the standout features of Natwest is that 2 years free, but beyond that, there is charges, and they're quite high charges depending on the volume which is going in the account. But you also have a well-developed mobile app and in-branch support. So what you want to look out for though is that once this free banking ends, the transactions fees will start adding up. So if you regularly move money, you might be better off with a flat monthly plan like Lloyds, and the free agent software they give is basically useless. So who is it best for? So really new startups who want to leverage a long free period and don't mind paying per transaction afterwards. So we've got a bit of a bonus section here, and this is talking about Capital on Tap, and this is a business credit card. So it's not a bank, but we find it really popular because of the cashback functionalities of the card. So the key features of the Capital on Tap card is that you get 1% unlimited cashback on everything you spend on the card. So think advertising, inventory, shipping, you get a 1% discount, which is going to help margin. You've also got no FX fees. So if you're paying overseas suppliers, you can easily pay those without any large fees. And you can also use employee cards. So you can actually issue your employees cards, they can spend, and you can control that spend. It also integrates with accounting software, so QuickBooks and Xero, which again is basically essential for these cards. And the standout feature really is that consistent cashback, which can really add up over the year. It's really simple to manage online, and it's quick, and you can pay off monthly to avoid any interest charges. But what you need to watch out for is that it is a credit facility. So you do not want to be carrying over a balance, because I think the APR is around 29%. So how you should use it is spend on the card, but make sure you can pay it off each month so you can just benefit from the 1% cashback and never pay interest. So this is basically best for almost all e-commerce business owners who are going to be paying quite a lot of money in monthly expenses, and those people who are disciplined enough to pay off the balance at the end of each month. If you're not disciplined enough, maybe you should avoid this card. So let's bring this all together and compare all the banks. So if we look at each of the accounts and compare, if we had 100 transactions per month, you can see that Starling is always free. You never pay with Starling. But when you compare that with Tide, Revolut, and Natwest, which has pay-as-you-go features, 100 transactions really starts becoming quite expensive. So the best options are Starling, Lloyds, or HSBC due to the lack of pay-as-you-go fees and clear low pricing. The newer banks always have a risk of failure. So what I advise is that maybe get Starling to start with, but then set up a legacy bank like Lloyds or HSBC so you can know you can store all your profit in there without worrying about the bank going bust. So let me summarize which accounts to avoid depending on what stage your business is at. And the first one is avoid using personal current accounts for business. One, it violates the bank terms and they can close your account, but also it just makes your accounting process incredibly hard and it lacks business protections. The other one to watch out for is e-money providers, and these are the banks without the government protection. So Tide, Revolut, Wise are great for doing transactions on, but they're not ideal for large sums of money, especially if it goes over 85k. You want to make sure that's in a legacy bank or at least a bank like Starling, which has got that government protection. On the other hand, if you're not making many transactions at all, a pay-as-you-go account will actually be cheaper in the long run. So let me go through the optimal setup. And this is what I've got set up in my business, but it's also what I recommend to clients. What we recommend is you get a Starling or Lloyds account as your primary UK bank. This is because it's protected by the government scheme, but there's also low or no monthly fees. and then you use Wise to pay overseas suppliers. And you use that to pay and receive money, so you benefit from the low exchange rates. And then you pair that with Capital on Tap, which you're going to get 1% cash back on everyday purchases. Just make sure you pay it off every month. So this combo minimizes your banking costs, protects your deposits, and stretches your profits with lower FX fees and that 1% cashback. You could be in a position where you're actually being paid to bank with those banks and it's not costing you anything at all. So there you have it, my comprehensive rundown of the best UK business banking options for e-commerce business owners. I hope this has helped you find the perfect blend of cost savings and confidence in your banking setup. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe button for weekly content aimed at e-commerce businesses. So check out the description below for quick links to all the banks, accounts we've talked about. Let me know in the comments which one you're leaning towards. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.